It's noon on Monday, April 25th, and this is news that you can use from YAA with your friends and hosts, Zach and the sniffly. No, he's the sniffly Zach, and I'm Ray.
If we want heated seats, Dad,
Yeah,
all you gotta do is subscribe to that button.
yeah.
You know how like on Porsches, nice Porsches, you'll get if you don't get all the boxes checked for all the different features, you have like blank buttons within the car.
Yeah.
As we move to more infotainment type screens everywhere, it's like instead of it being a blank button, it'll be like pay $4.99 a month, and then you can tap this button.
Yeah, did you want that high-speed internet on this flight or just a regular Wi-Fi?
All right, so the reason this morning we're talking about happy Monday, by the way, Pops. Good
Well,
Monday
thank
morning to you.
Thank you.
The reason that we're talking about the reason that we're talking about subscriptions
Yes.
is because Cox Automotive just
Yeah.
last week came out with a survey. I love Cox Automotive surveys. You're a little hit or miss on their survey work.
I just never like to use the term love and Cox in the same
Car buyers
sentence.
balk at paying monthly fees for features and services. So what they ended up doing is they surveyed a bunch of in-market or potentially in-market car buyers.
Yes.
75% of respondents said, hey, there's no chance that we're going to pay for any of your subscription services. And what's interesting here is the first line of this summary from Cox is automakers have announced ambitious plans to generate billions in revenue by charging car buyers extra on an annual or monthly subscription basis for some in-car features, services, and upgrades. Their plans beg the question, are customers willing to pay?
If I remember correctly, wasn't Stellantis banking on bringing in an extra $29 billion in subscription fees?
Yes.
Yeah.
From features that are already built into the vehicle, but you have to subscribe to get access to them.
Yes.
I really just like today's show is all about how terrible of an idea this is. If you didn't see what happened to Toyota, remember earlier this year, you had for like 2 or 3 years in some Toyota models, you had the ability to remote unlock and start your vehicle. And then they took that away. And then you had to pay for access to it again. Get out of here. If the functionality is built into the vehicle, just keep it there.
That would be like having a smartphone.
Yeah.
And then the phone maker or the carrier saying, well, really, if you'd like to access any of the smart features that are already built into your smartphone, well, that'll be an extra $10 a month, $9.99 a month, just to have access to the smart portion of your phone.
Now, 1 in 4 survey respondents said that they were actually willing to pay for subscription services.
Yes.
So we're going to jump into that here in just a second. But 92% said heated and cooled seats should be part of their purchase price. 89% said remote start should be as well. 89% said lane keeping assistance should also be part of a set price. And 87% said automatic emergency braking should be too. Can we just take a freaking moment here? The idea that you have to subscribe for emergency braking, lane keep assist is a subscription. What?
I can't wait till just regular braking's just.
Yeah, you have to subscribe for your brakes to work.
Yeah,
like what is going on?
I mean, that makes perfect. You would have the ability to brake and stop and not hit other things if you just pay us $9.99 a month, and those brakes will work. Otherwise, stick your foot out the driver's side.
Man, it's really frustrating. Of the 1 in 4 people who said they would pay, safety features like lane keep assist and automatic emergency braking topped the list by a wide margin of what customers would be willing to pay extra for. More than 80% of the 25% said they would pay anywhere from $30 to $35 a month.
Start adding this up, buddy.
So we're at 30 to 35.
Okay.
Vehicle performance features got the nod by some consumers for extra charges. They include upgraded horsepower and torque, over-the-air software updates, stolen vehicle tracking, and features that keep track of a vehicle's operational performance and service. They'd pay $20 to $25 a month.
Okay, 25 and 35 is what, 60?
Creature comforts like heated cooling seats and remote start gained some approval for extra pay between $15 and $31 a month.
Call it 30. You're up there. Now, if we're on the high end, that's $90 a month extra that you would pay for these various and assorted features over and above your monthly car payment, over and above your monthly fuel costs, over and above your insurance payment. Who can afford this? Listen, I'm an old guy, and I'm old enough to remember when they didn't have heated seats.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't really have leather seats. They just had seats.
Yep.
They weren't even necessarily comfortable seats, but they had seats, and you were okay with that.
Yep.
I today, do I use my heated seats? Maybe 10, 12 times a year. I don't use them a lot. Do I consider them a necessity? I consider them a nice touch, but not a necessity. If I had to pay for them, I'd have the coldest tuchus in America.
Let's and it's actually, I want to be clear though, it's not paying for them because we pay for them typically
Oh,
in
it's because they're already
options and
built.
packages.
Yeah, they're already built into the car. It's paying for their functionality.
Exactly. I think that's
Yeah.
the big distinction here. We've got from Alicia here in the chat saying, aren't those features already included in the cost of the car? Yes. Yes, they are. And that's what the disappointing thing is about
Yes.
this positioning and this move and this change that we have in the industry is not only is the functionality built into the vehicle, but now we want you to subscribe for access to it.
Yes.
Just boggled my mind when I saw that information come out from Cox Automotive.
That's almost a really, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, but I saved up plenty of that for
Okay,
today's
cool.
episode
Okay.
as well. Let's talk a little bit, Dad, about the chip shortage. We got the latest numbers out. It's a
Yes.
Monday, so we have the latest numbers from Auto Forecast Solutions. Losses have topped 1.5 million vehicles. Nothing too crazy new here, just more of the same old, correct?
Yes, pretty much so. Yes, except I do recall reading somewhere just recently about the more COVID shutdowns in Shanghai and other portions of China, which will impact chip manufacturing.
I did, however, see, and I know I shared this article with you, Dad.
Yeah.
Analysts are starting to say, hey,
At least
the end is near for the global chip shortage. I chatted with David Chow of Automotive Press over the phone last week.
Yes.
He's talking about maybe coming back on the show, and he was like, yeah, everything's been pushed back a little bit, but everyone I'm talking to says it's going to get better.
Okay. Yeah. No, I say that about most things too. That headache, it's going to get better.
I don't quite see it. Do
Eventually.
you?
There's too many variables. And none of the variables seem to be lining up in such a way that would give us hope. I think these guys are just there's this old saying I remember when I was much younger.
Yeah.
You ain't got no hope if you ain't got no dope. And you can't jump no rope if you ain't got no dope. Okay. I think these people have a lot of dope. Okay, because they certainly seem to have a lot of hope. Okay.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't see it. I mean, I just don't see. I don't see where it is. You got the neon gas shortage coming out of Ukraine. You've got lockdowns in China. Really, what is there to suggest that it's going to get better, other than saying, well, we'd like for it to get better.
We'll have this week. Tomorrow, GM announces their quarterly earnings, and
Yes.
Ford later this week on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be interesting to look at those to see how those companies are handling what's going on. I've got to imagine it doesn't look pretty, but maybe they'll have some really rosy things that they're saying, making us feel better about what's to come. I trust Mr. Farley.
I trust them all.
Get out of here. We've got here from
Yeah.
Flying Brian Ray.
Yeah.
How can a dealer sell a vehicle for MSRP when some trade values for that vehicle are more than MSRP? Can't make that make sense in my mind.
Well, it doesn't make sense, which is why many dealers are charging in excess of MSRP, and you should be thankful for and looking for those dealers that are content with selling them just at MSRP without additional dealer markups and without forcing you to buy unwanted and unneeded dealer installed accessories or protection packages.
And that's a perfect plug for what we've built here for Flying Brian. You can find dealers who are selling at MSRP and potentially even below it. Just come to joinyaa.com/dealers. Look at the ones that have been reviewed. Let's say you want to find a BMW dealership that's selling at MSRP right now. You can come click in and you can start to see, hey, look at this one, 10 out of 10. Oh, they were selling above MSRP, but someone was still happy with what they did. Anyway, you can come and you can see the dealer reviews from other YAA community members. That's one good way to potentially find dealerships that are selling at MSRP. then you could, in theory, turn around and sell it for more if you really wanted to, but we do not encourage that.
I've been to Hoffman Estates, Illinois, and there is a very fine Blue Mountain Oddies there,
There you go.
which I enjoyed thoroughly.
We've got here from Jeff.
Yeah.
He's saying, I have a Mach-E on order, and I'm adding the $3,000 comfort option specifically for heated seats. Helps a ton with back problems.
Yes,
And
no,
this-
I get that.
This makes sense.
Yes.
Is there margin built in the options? Of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Now imagine paying for this option, and then to activate it, you have to pay a set monthly fee.
I would find that that would probably cause more back pain and more back discomfort that those heated seats could then help to alleviate.
Put you on the spot here, Pops,
Yes.
in lieu of, and we've got tomorrow the Black Book market update.
Yes.
S&M says, what's your opinion on the outlook of the market, keeping in mind that the Fed may raise interest rates by a half point or 3/4 of a point? And this is also, I mean, we've seen a little bit of wholesale used car declines on the new car side, still very, very limited day supply. But what's your opinion and outlook?
There has been a consistency to the reduction in certain used car values, some used car and truck values on the wholesale side. Some, like the small compact and subcompacts, have actually gone up in value. I would imagine that we will continue to see something along those lines, where your more fuel efficient, less expensive vehicles will be appreciating in value, and your less fuel efficient, more expensive vehicles will continue to show some type of decline in values on the wholesale level. And we say this every week: the 5% decline in wholesale values, we have only seen a 1% decline in retail values. And apparently never the two shall meet.
I wonder what's going to happen though as interest rates rise. It's going to become more expensive for dealers to carry their used car inventory because they're going to pay more in floor plan costs. It's going to price out some consumers because the cheap interest rate options are going to become fewer and further between.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what's going to happen there. I'm not quite sure. I think rising interest rates in general make you think that the market's going to soften. But if the market softens, you've got to imagine there's a lot of pent up demand of people who've been waiting for it to soften.
Yes.
So it's my crystal ball is, I can't see a damn thing through it.
It's partly cloudy at best.
I still think prices on everything are going to continue to go up. So I still maintain that if you can buy a new car today at MSRP, do it. Absolutely do it. Try your best to avoid buying a used car. Now, Pops, talking about cars to buy, I found this morning, actually, I know we didn't queue this up, but I think it's worth it. The fastest
One of
selling,
the things I like about you.
the
You
fastest-
don't share everything with me.
the fastest selling new and used cars in today's market. This came
Yes.
from IC
Our
Cars.
dear friends.
You got
Julie.
any guesses before we pull it up on the screen? What do you think the fastest selling new car is? Yeah, don't look because I'm going to double check.
I got my eyes closed.
Here, I'm going to show everyone on the stream, but you're not going to look. So the fastest selling new car, what do you think it is? If you can get one that's in the top 5, I'd be very impressed.
New car?
New car.
New car. A cheap Chevy of some kind. I don't know what cheap Chevys are. A Bolt, maybe?
Wow, you're saying the Chevy Bolt? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my eyes were closed.
You really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole time you can, run it back. You'll
Wow.
see.
That's incredible. Wow. Did everyone see that? He
What?
got the. Wow.
Was it not on there?
No, it's not even on the list. It's not even in the top 20. But I'm proud of your guess.
Oh,
Proud of your guess,
I
Dad.
think I should give my son a big FU. For that. Oh, that's putting the FU in fun, ladies.
You were humble in your response there. Okay, the top 20 fastest selling new vehicles right now. The industry average from IC Cars is 35 and a half days. I think IC Cars falls prey to the same thing we fall prey to, which is they're tracking online listings. I think the average time to sell for a new car is actually less than 35 and a half days right now.
Probably, yes.
Because so many are probably pre-sold.
Yeah, but most of them are.
Most of them
probably
are.
pre-sold. Yeah.
Subaru Crosstrek,
Yeah.
taking 17 and a half days to sell. Toyota Tacoma, 17 and a half days. Forester, 17 days. To Ford Maverick.
How could that be? They don't have any.
Yeah,
They've
so
got-
here,
they've
let's-
got a 4-day supply of vehicles in the country. A 4-day supply nationally for Subaru. So how can it take on average 17 days to sell them?
This is the downside of this industry is everything's done on like web scraping the listings. And let me
Yes.
pull up what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So this data comes from Automotive News.
Yes.
Once I can pull it up, here we go. So if we look at this is for this month or for
Yes.
last month, excuse me, Subaru inventory levels. Subaru trucks have a 3-day supply.
Subaru domestic and imported.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a 3-day supply.
Yeah.
So then IC Cars is saying that the Crosstrek takes 17.5 days to sell and the Forester
Really?
takes 17 days to sell.
But it might take 17.5 days to get to the dealer so they can deliver it because it's already sold.
Then we've got Ford Maverick at number 7, 15.5 days. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, 15.3 days. Toyota Camry, 15.1 days. The Highlander, Toyota Highlander, 13.6 days. Lexus RX 350, 13 days. Genesis GV70, 12.2. And Honda CRV, 7.6. This list, though,
Yes.
as you're saying that, Pops, this list might better reflect just the dealers who post less inventory on their websites or something. Like that's more likely what it reflects than
Yes.
than the actual time to sell, because we know it's less than these numbers that we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have any cars.
Yeah, they really don't. All right, you ready to do the used cars?
I could be wrong again.
No, I think you're going to do better on used cars.
No, I don't think.
Think
I will.
about it for a second.
Okay.
What's one of the hottest?
The hottest is going to be the Mitsubishi Mirage, and my eyes were closed.
Okay, one more guess.
The Toyota Corolla.
All right, let me show the chat first. His eyes are closed. Keep them closed, Pops.
They're closed.
They
They're
look
closed.
a little open.
No,
Did you
they're
pluck
not.
that nose hair?
I did. I didn't pluck it. I trimmed it
Trimmed it.
with my electric trimmer.
Okay, I'm not going to give you a hard time this time, Pops.
Yes.
The Tesla Model X is the
my.
fastest selling used car, at least
That's
based
just
on the IC.
$90,000. That is the people's car, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Volkswagen of EVs, ladies.
No,
and
the
gentlemen.
Model 3 is, and it's only $50,000.
Get that. Get that.
All right, let me run
I mean,
through.
really, who can afford this stuff?
Yeah, I don't get it personally. Okay, let's do the top 10, Dad. And again, the industry average IC cars is saying is 53, which I also think is overstated, but I
Yes.
think directionally is correct. The days supply or the days to sell for used cars is going to be higher than new cars because
Yes.
dealers are willing to sit on them for a little bit longer.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's go through the top 10 fastest selling. Ford Mustang Mach-E, 35 days.
There's used ones.
Chevy Volt, 35 days. Tesla Model 3, 34.7. Tesla Model S, 34.5.
Wow, that
Mazda
one's only
3.
85 grand. That's a veritable bargain.
The Mazda 3 is 25 grand.
Yeah, well, that's a nice car.
We owned a Mazda 3.
Yeah.
Toyota Prius Prime, 32.8 days. The Model Y, 29.5. The Ioniq Hybrid, 29.5. The Honda Insight, 28.9. And the Model X at 28 days. I thought this information was interesting. It also,
is.
it
I
does
think
make you...
the average prices are frightening.
Oh, absolutely. The fact that people can even afford cars is, yeah,
Yeah. Please help
it's-
me with this.
is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Jason's saying here, it takes that long to find someone willing to pay the market adjustment and inflated dealer add-ons. Yes and no. A lot of these cars are already pre-sold before they
Yeah.
even get into the dealership. Igor's here reminding us Subaru has a 3 to 4 day supply maximum.
Yes.
Yep. Let's see. Pay and subscribe to be told to haggle. YouTube people think other people. All right, whoopsies, wrong one. Let's
Yeah,
see.
pay. You do that auto auction. You pay and subscribe
Let's
because
see.
lots of people have and they've saved lots of money. But that's besides the point.
Buying a new car right now is a bad proposition unless you have to. But who really has to? So many fine used cars out there, even if they are expensive. Yeah, there's a lot of edgy.
It makes more sense to buy the new car than it does to buy an overpriced used car right now.
I completely agree with you when it comes to that. I completely
Yeah.
agree with you. Now, one other thing that I saw from Cox that I want to put
And if I may,
Go
the
for it.
nicest thing about the new car
Huh.
is it comes with a warranty.
Yeah. Cox put out this data, Dad. Dealership service activity and revenue increases in March.
Yes.
So we're seeing the people who are holding onto their vehicles, they're spending more every
Yes.
time they're heading to the dealership to get work done.
Yes.
What'd you make of this information? I mean, it can't be anything too surprising.
Well,
The
it-
average
it-
repair order is
is-
now up to $512.
And the month before, it was the first time that the average repair order had cracked $500 at $501.
In pre-pandemic, we're up over 25% in terms of what the average repair order is.
It doesn't surprise me for two reasons. One, some of the parts have gotten more expensive. Dealerships are doing a better job of selling more, and labor rates have gone up. So you add all that together, and yeah, your average repair order is going to go up in value.
Oh man, poor Jason. Been to 7 dealerships in Southern Florida. I need a truck SUV, but used prices are the same as new. New is the only way to go, but can't find anything. Jason, check the dealer reviews. I think there's a few dealerships in Florida that are like potentially worth doing business with. John's got a question. He says, "Aren't there laws against predatory pricing?"
Well, there might be, but there's not laws against market-based pricing, as far as I know. They're in times of an emergency, if you overinflate prices, I think that's considered predatory and might be illegal. But these are just market-based prices. Whatever the dealers ask. Don't forget, we say this often. A dealer can ask any market adjustment they want. Doesn't mean they're going to get it, and it doesn't necessarily mean they expect to get it. It is a negotiating starting point. Okay, we've said it a number of times. You can look at it, and you can, like a contract, you can look at it. You can either accept it, you can reject it, or you can amend it. In other words, you can try and negotiate it and get a different amount. Choose it, agree on a different amount. But just because they ask doesn't mean you have to agree to pay it.
100%, Pops, 100%. Rick here in the chat saying dealer service is a pass. I was quoted $450 for my repair there. Went to a local shop down the street. It was $220. You can't be too surprised to hear that.
No, I'm not. No.
Dealerships are more expensive.
Well, they have more money invested.
Got a question here from Fraser.
Yeah.
Do you think used car lots are the places to go for used cars now? Man, everything that we're reading from Black Book, those guys and gals are getting priced out at the auctions. Yes. I'd be super nervous if whatever is making its way to an independent lot.
I would as well.
All right, let's switch gears, Pops. I'm going to play the ad lib. You already know what time it is.
What time is it? Oh my God! Really? You gotta be kidding.
Talking over the ad lib.
Oh my God! It really? You gotta be kidding. It's that time already?
All right, we got 2 stories today that I want to bring our attention to. This one from Juan was posted on the community forum just yesterday.
Yes.
It reads, I have purchased a used vehicle that was advertised by the dealership as having 19,000 miles.
What did it say on the odometer?
To my surprise, 2 days after purchase, I found some old service records hidden in the upper visor. The car had 80,000 miles back in the year 2004. Clearly, the odometer was rolled back significantly. Who knows what else? I want to sue and pursue legal action against the dealership in Philadelphia. How should I navigate this? Lots of great support from the community. He's reached out to Josh Shapiro, the Attorney General in the state of Pennsylvania. But seriously, this is the type of stuff that's going on right now. To Fraser's question about buying from an independent.
Yeah, I would love to know what miles actually show on the odometer. They advertised it at 19,000. What did it show on the odometer? Because you had to sign an odometer statement when you bought the car. Now, it would be easy to assume that the dealer is the one that, if the odometer had either been replaced or rolled back, that the dealer was the one that did it. And that could be an assumption that could be entirely wrong. It could have been the previous owner. It could have been a previous dealership or a previous service center. Who knows?
Who's going to be responsible in that case?
But somebody at the dealership should have found those service records that were in the visor and looked at them and brought it to somebody's attention. But it's not. It'll probably be hard to prove that the dealership where you bought it was the one that either replaced or rolled back an odometer.
I'm interested though, because I feel like, and you've talked about this in the past to me, the dealership is like the responsible party who's supposed to inspect the vehicle and make sure everything's okay.
Yes.
I wonder if they're able to be held liable in this situation, even if they necessarily shouldn't be.
They're considered the professionals. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything in there that suggested that anybody looked at a Carfax because a Carfax, if there was one for that vehicle, would have shown the various when it had been serviced, and might have shown that there was some type of mileage discrepancy, and obviously there was. And if I may, I don't know how old the car is. I don't know what year it is, but if it had 80,000 miles on it in 2004. Okay, so I'm going to guess that it's a 2000 or 2001. Where are you finding one of those with 19,000 miles on it today? So,
and as a dealer, if you're selling one, so let's say the dealership didn't do the rollback. If a dealer's selling one with 19,000 miles, I'm not a mechanic. You're not a mechanic. I'd imagine you could put that thing up on a lift and tell pretty quickly that it doesn't have 19,000 miles on it.
I would think.
This is a really got to be kidding me across the board.
Well, yeah,
and I hope Juan gets everything squared away.
I do too. But yeah, the dealership should have known. The dealership is the one that warrants the merchantability of the vehicle when they sell it.
All right, now we have from Audi, Dad. Did you see this? Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
Some new Audis have a semiconductor shortage package.
I love that.
So you don't have to subscribe to this one, but it actually is showing up on Monroney labels.
Yes.
You can opt to have the semiconductor shortage package.
I don't think you can opt. I think it's on there.
It's a mandatory package from Audi.
Yes, on certain vehicles.
Deletes adaptive cruise control, deletes Audi active lane assist, deletes side assist and rear. I mean,
yes.
This I thought was, I can't tell if it's brilliant or if it's crazy.
It's honest. It's transparent. Say what you want, but at least it's transparent. At least they're saying, because of the chip shortage situation that lots of people don't want to believe exists, well, it does exist for us. And here's what we've had to do, and we've put it right on the window sticker for you.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for at least being willing to be transparent enough to say, hey, because of the chip shortage situation, these items are being deleted. This is your chip shortage package.
Pretty incredible stuff. Ruger here saying you have to be a premium member to see dealer reviews. No, you do not. If you go to the website, and I want to remind everyone, if you go to the website under resources, dealer reviews,
you're not logged in, are you?
No, we're working on that. That'll be changed in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe.
Okay.
It's a little slow because it's a very, very, very big page, but bear with me. The dealer reviews will load up right here. Just choose the drop down here for have they been reviewed, toggle yes, and then all of these dealerships that you see on the map, these are going to be ones that have been reviewed. You can even break it down by state or brand or if people would recommend them or not. Then I also want to remind everyone.
So, and you do not have to be a premium member.
You don't even have to be a member. You can just access it.
Yeah. Wow.
Then if you go to this URL, car-dealer-reviews, this is where you're now going to put in the information about a dealership. So if you purchased a new vehicle, you put in the zip code of the dealership where you purchased it. Now you do the zip code so that we can track the specific dealership. It's no longer free text.
Acura North Scottsdale. Come on.
There it is. Then we're asking what the doc fee is so we can start to collect doc fees on a dealership specific level.
Yes.
And then obviously what vehicle you bought. This is no longer free text because we're trying to track things against specific year, make, model, and dealerships.
Cool.
This is also free, of course, and we need as many people. There's so far been 1,153 reviews submitted. So please, that's join yaa.com/car-dealer-reviews. And we're going to add more like the add-ons and things like that as well. And that will always and forever be free. That way we can actually hopefully find some good dealers instead of some bad dealers.
I like that.
I'm thinking we should do that for service centers as well. I could even see us doing that for like credit unions, things like that. Maybe even auto brokers down the line too.
Wow.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Yes.
Here you go from Plain Fan. I'm really happy that I found a good dealer. Got a 2022 Corolla SE that arrives in June. Dealer charging $300 below MSRP with no extra fees or forced add-ons. Kenosha, Wisconsin for those in the Chicago area. Plain Fan, please go to that form that I just shared and please put that in.
Yes,
pretty please. More people need to know about that. Yeah, here you go from Anthony. It's been a real struggle these past couple months. A lot of cars are coming in with some sort of credit. Totally.
And that would be at Mercedes.
That would be. Anthony's over at Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay.
Karima, could you do a video about the current increase in catalytic converter thefts in the country and whether or not replacing it will cancel out the manufacturer warranty on new vehicles? It is nuts that there are
Well,
more and more
I
thefts.
don't think it would if
The warranty, no.
Yeah, you have to replace it. It would be replaced under your insurance coverage, and that should have no impact on the warranty at all.
But we're seeing more and more thefts.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
prices of different materials are through
there's
the roof.
money in them. They're catalytic converters.
You should go check your Mini. All right, Pops, let's call it a show
Do I
for
have
today.
to?
We will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
We actually should have a special guest tomorrow. Miss Kimberly Klein's going to be in the office with us tomorrow. Maybe you and her will run point on the show. We shall see. But she'll be here with us live and in person. So excited for that.
Well, then that means I'll be here live and in person tomorrow as well, then, doesn't it?
I certainly hope so.
Yes, me too. Oh, by the way, wish me luck. I'm moving today, everybody. Moving to a new apartment here in Bethesda, so I can be closer to our worldwide headquarters in downtown Bethesda, Maryland.
Thank you, Pops. And Plain Fan, I just joined a few minutes ago. What form were you referring to? If you go to joinyaa.com/car-dealer-reviews, you can submit that dealer review, and then other people can benefit from it as well.
Very cool.
Thank you, Pops. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you back here again tomorrow at noon with more news that you can use. That's noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.